And welcome. My name is Jeff Vogel. I'm the president and founder of Spiderweb Software. In 1994, we started a shareware company back before there really was much of an internet to sell retro, cool, turn-based, fun fantasy role-playing games. And 31 years later, for some reason, we are still able to do it. We have a new game coming in just a week on the 22nd called Avernum for Greed and Glory. Here it is, and I'm going to spend the next 2 hours playing it and help and try to give people an idea of what the game is about, and hopefully, it will look good to you. If you want to support indie developers for Next Fest, first of all, thank you very much to Steam for making this available. If you want to support indie developers on Next Fest, the best thing you can do is wishlist us because that affects a lot about how what sort of visibility we get on Steam. Okay, so Avernum 4. Avernum is the fourth game in the Avernum series, which is a remaster of the Exile series, which started again in 1994. This is a continuation of our very first series. It's been going for 31 years. It's a cult classic. It's a generational thing now, and this is our new game. Okay, so I'm going to start a game. And first, you get to choose. It's a four-person party with four different character types and backgrounds, and three different species you can play. And there's a lot of customization, but a lot of people just tend to start with the beginning loadout. And I'll tell you now that I'm infamously bad at my own video games. So I'm going to take the default, and I'm just going to hack through. So the next thing you do is you choose. So the music's kind of loud. I'm going to talk about the story of the game once we're out of the music. But for now, you can choose one of four backgrounds, which affects some of your statistics, but more importantly, it affects what you need to do to get the best ending while you're being waylaid by all the problems and disasters that afflict Avernum. So for now, I'm going to pick a misfit, a petty criminal who wants his own empire in the underworld. I'm going to pick normal difficulty because, once again, I am bad at my games. And now there is text to introduce the world. Avernum is a place. It is a nation that exists far underground. Avernites live in an endless network of caverns and tunnels, forests of giant fungi and deep black lakes, lit by glowing lichen and warmed by steam vents. Avernum is inhabited by proud people determined to make their fortune and live free. The surface of the world is ruled by the mighty Empire. Avernum began as a prison colony. The Empire teleported misfits and petty criminals into the darkness. The Avernites fought, survived, and won their freedom. Now they live their lives in the depths they share with the mysterious, powerful Vanatai of the deepest caves. The Empire, ruled by the kind Empress Prazak, now tolerates Avernum. Travelers can move freely between the surface and the depths. Avernum is now a land of fortune seekers, miners, explorers, and sages come to explore the tunnels, looking for gems, treasure, and lost magic. And that is pretty much the setting of the game. You have come to it's a nation in the underworld, which has only recently become free and is trying to find its fame, even though there are many factions in the world and many disasters that can potentially await. So I'm going to skip the rest of the text. It's almost done and get into the game. Our games are very text heavy. I'll tell you right now, it's a very 90s style of thing. There's a lot of reading involved. But basically, that's it. Avernum is a nation entirely under the underworld. The entire game takes place in this enormous, strange, magical fairyland of caves underground. Avernum has the first three games in the Avernum series is about Avernum's struggles for survival and then its war for its freedom. In Avernum 4 is the beginning of a second trilogy, which is about Avernum's adulthood and final fate. It is free. Now, what sort of land is it going to be? And right now, it is a land of fortune seekers, and you are some of those fortune seekers. Come to come here with various goals. And you saw in the did I just accidentally shift the window? No, okay, no, it's still good. I'm sometimes I have to click out to see the chat, and I'm terrified that I'm going to accidentally hide the window. So I have picked one of four goals that have brought me to explore Avernum. But now what is going on is that I am on the frontier, ready to begin my career. But Avernum is full of exploration of new caves. But for some reason, the king has just announced that all new exploration must stop immediately. It's called the Sovereign Cease, and he has said that we are now trapped in the fort unless we have papers which allow us to escape. So we know now that the captain of the fort is named Captain Matos, and he's on the main floor. And my job now is to go up and bother him and see if I can find something productive to do, so that I can finally escape from this crappy bedroom in which I live. And so now this is the tutorial. It doesn't have. It's a really complicated game with a billion things in it, but it doesn't have a super long tutorial. But now we're going to get to go through it. So first of all, this is how we move and how we use objects. So I select a space, I move on it. Is a turn-based role-playing game, and I'll select the door to get out. And now you step out of your claustrophobic, billowy quarters and into a cramped storeroom. This was the basement of the monastery that occupied this cave before the fort was built. Even the worst squat you slept in on the surface was better than this. Now, note, there are two sorts of people in Avernum. There's the native Avernites who were born in the underworld, which was once a prison colony, and then there are the surfacers, the people who have recently come from the claustrophobic, stultifying atmosphere of the surface and want to become rich and famous down here. Because of the background I chose, I'm from the surface, and so it's reacting by saying, hey, I was a poor weirdo on the surface before I came here. So now I get to arm myself. You can see over here on the table, there are knives. Get the weapon on the table. To get items, stand by the table and press the chest button to the lower right, or type G. So here is all the stuff on the ground. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick everything up, and I'm going to start equipping my characters. So for now, just to keep it simple, I'm going to keep all my armor on the main character, and everyone else is just going to get a dagger. The underworld has always been kind of poor and strange. In the first Avernum game, which was very poor, you started with stone weapons. And then eventually, when you're lucky, you moved on to bronze and iron. So right now you get to actually start with a metal dagger. So things have really improved, and the land of Avernum is far more affluent than it was. I see a little box here. Oh, I get a helmet. So one of my warriors gets a helmet and also a lamp, because we're going to need that, because the caves are dark and there's lots of lighting issues. And once again, if you ever have a question, please feel free to ask it in the chat. I've been doing this for 31 years. I have infinite opinions about the indie games business, the state of indie games, what it was like to write Chero, what it was like to run a computer games business before anyone thought you could do a computer games business. And what I'm going to do now is start saving the game. I will be saving the game often because, again, as I keep stressing, I am terrible at my own games. So I will get my party killed at least once. Okay, so now we're done with this, and now we're about to go to the surface. You hear stone crumbling and support beams cracking. As you leap backwards, a passage to the south caves in. A cloud of dust blinds you. When your vision clears, figures emerge from the cloud. Invaders, a goblin and two trained war rats, manage to burrow into the basement. Vicious creatures constantly try to sneak into Fort Monastery, which is where we are, causing all sorts of trouble. However, this is the first time that raiders have extended their tunnels under the walls. So there's your goblin, and there's your rats. Oh, I should have changed the name from Huge Rat to War Rat. Maybe I'll do that for a patch. Once again, the game is coming out on October 22nd, 1 week from now. So I'm starting to get tutorial things. Warriors can use battle disciplines against their foes. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to try to take the enemy out quickly. So there's Brutal Blow, which makes my next melee attack stronger, or Flawless Shot for missile attacks. I'm going to do Brutal Blow and hit the goblin. Okay, that was a good start. Notice I got Fatigue. Battle disciplines can only be used so often, or they get fatigue. So this character doesn't have a bow yet, so it's going to keep running up and missing. Okay. This is my priest. The art for this character, the design for this character, actually dates to the very first Exile in 1994, and it was drawn to look like me, or the me that I looked like 30 years ago. I don't look like this anymore. So this character has battle disciplines because it has battle skills, but also has priest spells because this is a priest. I don't know. I might as well just get this. I know as a player that soon the tutorial over and I'll get healed, so I'm just going to blow all my spells to try to kill something quickly. And here is a mage. Why not? Let's see. You can use magic to efficiently destroy your foes. Why not try it? Press this button and cast a mage spell and try using Bolt of Fire. I'm actually going to bind Bolt of Fire to a hotkey because that gets used a lot. Oh, the goblin's almost used. Almost dead. Fortunately, this is tutorial, so we aren't going to take too much damage. So, I'm just going to chop my way through these dudes. Let's see. No, still no missile weapon. He does have a dagger, so he'll get into the fight. He will continue. Let me check just because I'm curious. Well, welcome to the 21 people in the chat. Thank you very much for people who are saying kind things. Steam used to have a feature with Next Fest where they would actually like have a list of streams going on so people could plan, and we got a lot more viewers then, but they have changed that. So because there's like 3,000 games in the Steam Fest, and honestly, I think Steam would be so much happier if most of us would just go away. But still, thank you very, very much to the people who showed up. Oh, we broke the rat, got scared, and ran away. But we still don't want to leave an evil rat down here. So, let's see. So I'm just going to pause the characters. I think it'll give me a... And in combat, you have just won a battle. Sadly, there are many more to come. You rest for a minute to recover from the fight. So now it just went ahead and healed everyone because it's the tutorial. In the future, when you are tired or damaged from fights, return to a friendly town or fort. Just a bit more tutorial stuff. I'll press this button. And because I have won a fight, I will save. The gate ahead is closed. You use the wheel here to seal yourself in the futile hope that the bars would keep thieving goblins out. Alas, the local goblin tribe has sufficiently extended its tunnels to remove all security. Their clan will be a real danger even if the gate remains closed. Actually, if I'm playing like a tester and someone who didn't... I'm playing like an experienced person who knows where everything is. You can see that this passage caved in after the goblins came in. I'm seeing what they left. They left trash, a pick, and a basket. That's all junk, but there's a jar here. Oh, there's some food. This is not your property. Actually, I should set that to I need, Marianne, could you make a note to set some mushrooms as not property? They're going to be, I can eat occasionally to heal myself. And, this is I've been working on this game for about 2 years. I think it's very clean. There really is very few bugs. But every once in a while I play this, I'm just going to see a few bits of polish that I missed the first couple of times I played it. So let's see what's down this way. You see someone in the shadows ahead. You prepare to defend yourself, afraid that more goblins have burrowed in. Then you see that it is a human. It is Maxine, one of Fort Monastery's precious stonemasons. She smiles nervously when she recognizes you. So, we'll soon have one of the many conversations in the storyline. But first I'm going to wander off in the statues. See if I left anything. There's a pot here. Oh, it contains something. Healing potion. It's also, wow, why are these marked as not my property? That's so crazy. I can't believe that all slipped through testing. Let's see. This contains bars of iron, which once again, I want you to be able to take. Yeah, that's so weird. Well, I'll select Maxine. Maxine steps out of the shadows, her hammer resting on her shoulder. She is a tall, hardy woman with the pale, translucent skin of the Avernum born. She is a stonemason, and she comes down here to supervise the quarters expansion often. She is normally cheery and good conversation, but the sounds of your fight echoed upstairs. What was going on? I heard clanging, snarling, a scream or two. I'm not sure how much of this text I'm going to read because there is a fair amount of it, and my games just don't generally stream very well because they're very reading heavy. I mean, I like, some people really like the writing and some people really like my storytelling, but reading doesn't make for gripping storytelling, so I will read enough to keep what's going on and some of the early conversations, but I may read less as things goes on. Yes, a goblin burrowed in. Nothing important. Maxine looks around nervously. Goblins? Their tunnels have reached us? Captain Matos kept assuring me that they were too far away for that. I was going to drop some plans. Can't concentrate on that when a gob might come through the wall at any moment. It should be alright, I cleaned it out. Maxine peers into the darkness, listens to the dripping water, and shudders. Clear, yes, but not for long. Not until Captain Matos can find a way to clear out the gob nest. For now, I'll keep helping in the kitchen. Can't work like this. Want her to come to the dining hall. Stew is ready soon. She turns to go back upstairs quickly. So I'll wait for it, and yep, there she goes. Okay, so that just says you step on the stairs to go upstairs and see Captain Matos. Okay, she's gone, and that I think is it for here. So go upstairs. You leave the dank basement and enter the main barracks for Fort Monastery. The air is fresher up here, and the buildings are slightly more spacious. You've been sleeping in the depths for weeks, waiting for permission to explore. It's always a relief to emerge into the fort. You're tempted to wander around the fort and speak with people. Maybe you can learn some rumors or find productive work. Captain Matos is at his desk. He is your only hope for getting permission to leave. He is distracted, though. You can hear a disturbance outside. People are shouting. It says you can hold the tab key to see characters. There's a guard who probably doesn't have anything to say. Oh, he says, don't do crimes. You can, keep moving. Yeah, it's just, is traditional in our games to have standard. So let's talk to the captain. You try to talk to Captain Matos, the exhausted leader of this tiny isolated fort. He shakes his head. Not yet. Need to stay alert. The castle crier is outside, and he's about to give the rabble the new bad news. Still want a job? Go outside and learn if anything is new. He gives his news by the job board. So people are saying, yeah, don't read anything, and I will try to avoid it, but I have to read some because I don't at least get the plot visible. Okay, so explains how to save, but I've already been doing that. So there's a crowd of people here, and all of the human art in this game is new. We know I didn't mention before, we're a small company. We're just a tiny family. It's mainly just me and my wife and a handful of very talented art freelancers. They're very low budget games. They're fun games. They must be fun because we've been making a living selling them for 31 years. But so sorry, I just got a text. I can't remember what I was saying. So yeah, we've been doing this for 31 years, and they're good games, but we're also low budget. We tend to reuse assets from game to game a lot because art is expensive. Time of freelancers is very expensive. But thanks to the support of our Kickstarters, we had a very successful Kickstarter, and all of the human art has been really redone in this nice modular system. So the human art should look a lot better now. You approach the gathering in the main training ground. The castle crier is there, ready to give the latest word from the castle. He's been doing this every few days since you arrived. He's a young, nervous man from the Great Cave, native of Avernum. A lot of lore being dumped there. It's very tricky to figure out what pace to dump lore in, because this is a whole new world with its new politics and new everything. But I think I've made a pretty good balance in this game. Nobody knows how he gets his information. It's a matter of quiet speculation during the long, boring, quiet hours. He never answers questions. He clears his throat and rolls a scroll. The unruly crowd instantly quiets. The young crier reads from the scroll. Attention, all brave explorers of remote Avernum. King Starus sends his regards and well wishes. The standard beginning. The sovereign cease must continue. The sovereign cease is the official declaration that all exploration must stop. You don't know, nobody knows why exploration has stopped. Everyone came here to get rich, and now they're being forced to cool the seals in the fort. Of course, before long, you are going to find that you are incredibly involved in what's going on because it's a video game. The sovereign cease must continue. The negotiations with the Vonatai must continue. Once this is done and the depths of Avernum can settle or established, your explorations may begin. This is new news. What is a Vonatai? He whispers, things who live in the deepest caves. I've never seen one. Mighty wizards, I hear. Hate the Empire. They're green. So not everything everyone says is going to automatically be true. These are just rumors from weirdos in the remotest caves. How long will all this take? The castle crier pretends not to hear you. A few miners ask the same question and are ignored with similar determination. Keep listening. There is a new proclamation. Due to recent disturbances and unexpected violence, King Staros requests that all stay off the roads. Only travel if absolutely necessary until the source of the disruptions is found. So this is, new plot stuff. That something else is going on, some sort of attacks, but again, news of it hasn't gotten out here. You admire the Castle Crier's quiet composure as he gives his alarming news. Disturbances? Violence? What is happening? Several other members of the crowd amplify your question. There is a lot of shouting. For the first time, the crowd responds, "Folks, I don't know. I've been stuck out here for weeks, same as you. I have more to say. Let me finish." Keep listening. The council promises to let you know when your exploration can resume. Until then, only those with a letter of passage can travel. He rolls up the scroll. That is all I have to say, all I know. Settle in. This fort is boring, but at least it's safe. He turns to leave. I have a question. So does everyone else. There's a lot of shouting. The castle crier floats through the crowd to safety, ignoring all queries. Watch the crowd. Bored, angry, frustrated, as usual, but it is impossible to ignore the hints of fresh fear on their faces. Hey, Captain Matos is standing in the doorway. So it's not saying. When the, so someone just asked, can you keep your party in the center of the screen? So that's a good question. Why doesn't the center of the screen move with your party as you move? And the answer is, of course I tried it. That was actually one of the first things I tried. And if the entire screen shifts every step you take, I don't know about you, but I immediately start feeling like I'm about to throw up. It looks really weird and distracting. It is much better if the screen shifts occasionally. And I'm going to go into settings. I think no, I thought there was so I thought there was a setting. Let me move the party to the edge. Yeah, I thought there was a setting to make it move. There is on the iPad version where when your party moves the edge of the screen shifts with them. I think GeneForge games have that. That's another game series I write, but Avernum doesn't. And there is a good reason for that, but I can't remember what it is. So yeah, you're just gonna have to drag the screen occasionally. So these are all minors. They don't have much to say. I'm gonna save in case there's a crash or something weird, and talk to Captain Matos to get more story. Captain Matos rises from his desk to greet you. He is deathly pale. Like most of Vernites, he looks much older than he is. Running Fort Monastery has aged him even more. Life is tough in Avernum, even when you aren't out on the frontier. You note that his armor and weapon are old and dented from many minor battles and some major ones. On the surface, the Empire would have replaced his equipment long ago. Here in the underworld, you have to make do with what you have. Ah, you're finally up, he growls. Good. You've had enough time to rest and get settled in. Weeks of it. So what did the crier say? The castle crier said that the sovereign cease will continue. So you're all still stuck here, eating Avernum's food, brawling, complaining. But that's not all, is it? Everyone sounded angrier than usual. Signing at the castle. He said something about a signing at the castle. Yes, the much promised peace between us and the Vonatai. We're splitting the underworld with them. Royal business, nothing we can affect. So this is the fourth game in a series, and there's 3 games of story before that. So I have to have a balance where I have to, so you can pick up any of our series at any point. I work very hard to make sure that if you start Avernum 4 and it's your first time playing, that you will completely be able to understand what's going on. You can start the game now, but if for people who have played Avernum 1 through 3, they'll still need some reminding because Avernum 3 came out quite a while ago. But yes, you have. I'm just establishing you are sharing the underworld with a race called the Vonatai. They're very mysterious and very magical. And as time goes on, you will. I believe me. You will. If when you in playing this game, you will learn more than you ever wanted to know about the Vonatai. But right now, I'm just trying to not dump too much on you because right now outside there's a ravening horde of goblins. He said there had been violent disruptions. Captain Matos nods. There have. Nothing I can talk about. Not yet. I can only tell those I trust. Perhaps my trust can be earned. I stopped paying attention to the crier weeks ago. That was a wise instinct a few weeks ago. Now things are happening. You should start listening. How do the miners and hopeful explorers take the latest bad news? Angry as usual. As long as they don't try to leave, they are safe here. Not that they appreciate it. I was listening to the choir too. Things are happening and Avernum has not given me clear instructions. I need to act. You have been bothering me for work. At last I have some for you. So now we are into the main body of the conversation, and there's all sorts of lore and questions and this and that. I'm just because to keep things moving along, I'm going to restrain myself to the story. What do you need me to do? Well, the first step is to get you outfitted. We aren't set quality gear out here, but we'll spare a little of what we do have for you. Don't misuse it. There are storage caves at the west end of the fort. There's a bow in one and a potion in the other. Collect them. When you're outfitted, I'll get you started on the next step. Sorry, at least. So someone is asking. There doesn't seem to be the difference between the normal and larger play area in mag of in game magnification settings. So one thing I've added that's new to my game, and I'm not a very good programmer, and it's just 99% of these games is by me. Wear a lot of hats, and I'm not the best programmer. At the very at last, I've created like proper full screen and proper magnification settings in this game. But someone's asked, so here you can set game magnification to zoom it out or zoom it in as necessary. But if you're playing on a smaller monitor and you select magnify, it may not do anything because it's already showing. Because if I magnify the game screen, then the screen won't have room to to fit the game. So if you have a smaller monitor, a laptop monitor, you may have to go into more magnification to get some magnifying. I'm playing on a much larger monitor, so if I just do a little bit of magnification, you can see that even though oh no, wrong settings, magnified. So this is way more magnified than it was before because I'm playing on a large monitor, but I'm just going to set it back to normal. Okay. It's a little bit confusing, and I've been working for it took a huge amount of work just to get this system to work, and at a certain point I had to say, dear God, I have to ship a game. That part of it is a little bit wonky, but that may be something we have to deal with. If you're playing with a physically small monitor, I cannot change the physical size of your monitor, and I can't zoom in the game so much that the game stuff can't fit on the screen. Okay, there's a stone obelisk. So there's a mysterious stone obelisk in the back. You and I'm just going to use it for the heck of it. It is important eventually, but far outside the demo. So I just did something with the obelisk, and now I'm going to look for those two storage games. Storage caves. You're at the entrance to one of the storerooms at the west end edge of Fort Monastery. There are two. Captain Matos has made it clear that any adventurers who borrow supplies from the stores will be kicked out of the fort and left to the mercy of the goblins. Fortunately, he said they are allowed to poke around in here. And this. Okay, so I just found a bow and javelins. Oh, there's a little cabinet hiding back there. So more gloves. Let me find a character who's not wearing gloves. And here are lockpicks, because there are locks. And I'm going to get 2 bars of iron as well. Run down here. I'm going to get some more lamps, a javelin, and a bow. So I'm not going to give... Okay, so this is my priest. So I'm going to give my priest a bow and my mage javelins. The other 2 frontline fighters will for now not need missile weapons. Let's check out the other cave, which should be down here. Okay, what do we got? Oh, this looks good. 2 carefully labeled healing potions and a magic scroll have been left back here, ready to be quickly grabbed when Fort Monastery is attacked. Since you bravely slew a goblin in defense of the fort, you feel entitled to a reward. Using a healing potion will restore. Okay, blah blah blah. It says what items do. So what am I going to do? Since I'm sure I'm going to need healing potions, I'm going to give my 2 frontline fighters. So shift click to split up a stack. And I want everyone to have a healing potion. For now, I'm just gonna give healing potions to my first 3 characters. Okay, so that's where lamps are. Actually, I want lamps with my first character too. So I'm just gonna stick a lamp in a quick use slot over here. Let's see, is there anything else? There's a trapdoor over here in the back, which is suspicious. But for now, I'm going to save. and go back. And of course, oh, okay. So this is a shop. This is where the shopping is. I'd like to buy some gear. So here's a shop where I can accumulate money to sell, buy lots of things. I don't know quite what I'm going to need. So I'm going to do stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to hit tab to see. So here's Maxine. That's Phil. Oh, there's someone skulking in the corner. Here's the castle crier who has got exhausted and is going away. When I hit tab, I saw. Oh, here's Maxine. She's just wandering around. She can't work in the tunnel, so she's helping out wherever she can. These rooms are quarters where you can steal stuff. It's locked. I don't want to blow my one lockpick on stealing from people. Just going to leave that alone. There's lots of characters you can talk to. You can learn about the world. Okay, so this is a tough lock. Only 3% chance of success. Maybe something that happens later on will cause someone to open that for you. So I'm going to run around this way. This is Lark's office, the sole mage of Fort Monastery. So I'm going to say hi to Lark. What services do you offer? Can you craft anything for me? I'd like to learn spells. Okay, so here's where I could learn a bunch of mage spells or improve the mage spells I already have. There's only one I can afford right now. I'm going to leave that alone. Later on, because I'm going to be doing 4 hours of streaming of this. I'm probably going to stream the other half Sunday afternoon, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And when I do, there will be plenty of stuff to explore. Right now, I'm going to use the job board too, which is where you can get lots of optional quests. Message to Grindstone. Grindstone is a mining cap south of Fort Monastery, so I can deliver a message to a fort near here. Bat bits required. She needs the wings of 3 mottled bats. So I take that in case I find mottled bats. Undead infestation. Captain Matos left a note on the Fort Monastery job board. A necromancer named Harko was buried in a script in the tunnels to the south. So fun lore about this game. As a designer, I am like baking powder. I absorb the smells of whatever I've been playing. So when I played a lot of Dragon Age, I made a game that was series that was very Dragon Agey called Avernum. Still available on Steam. It's pretty fun. When I was playing this game, so Avernum 4 Greed and Glory is a remaster of Avernum 4, which came out in 2005. It's not my favorite of the games I've written, but I really put a ton of work into making this one really fun and shiny. But the important thing is when I was playing Avernum 4, I was playing huge amounts of World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, when you enter a new town, the first thing you do is you run around and you grab a whole bunch of quests. And I really liked just how, and they were just very casual, simple quests. And I really liked that. I thought it was really fun to just suddenly be able to grab a bunch of quests where you can get extra experience stuff. Assassinate a guy, or kill a bunch of bats, or whatever. So if you talk to the people, you will get lots of different quests, and they tend to be more involved with lots more traveling and lots more steps. But almost every settlement has a job board where you can just go and you can hoover up a whole bunch of quests to just wander around and do if you want just easy treasure or a distraction. Anywho, Captain Meadows, I found the equipment you left for me. Good, now I can really put you to work. When you're ready to get started, let me know. What is my mission? I need something done about the goblins to the south. They've always been a nuisance, and the problem is getting worse. They keep sneaking into the fort, and I don't know how. They aren't getting in through the front gate, and they aren't dropping down from the ceiling above the fort. Remember, we are in a cave, so that's not a joke. There is a ceiling above, but it's a long way up. Find out how they are getting in, and let me know their behavior is getting suspicious. Do you have any idea how they're getting in? Well, if I did, I wouldn't need you, would I? Get searching. Since some of them were digging, try the basement. You can also ask around the fort. Someone might have seen something. What about them is suspicious? They've been more quiet. They're still trying to get in, but far less than before. They're still out there, and goblins aren't known for restraint and careful planning. It's time to investigate seriously. Hunting goblins, that's not the sort of work I was looking for. Matos laughs. Your greed is admirable. I'm sure you want what you're hunting for, and I might be able to provide it. First, you must prove you are more competent than the horde of explorers outside. Good luck. Okay, quest received. Find goblin entrance. So, we need to go into the basement, look around. So, we just so happened to find a trapdoor over here. So, and if we explored more thoroughly, there are actually several ways downstairs. But we're going to try this trapdoor first. And now I need to stress something. I have written over my career 19 full-length games. I've written 19 big games and a ton of remasters. And my brain is of limited size. So I can't remember. I will get emails from people saying, "Hey, in Avernum 2, which came out 15 years ago, I was wondering about this plot detail or this character, this dungeon." And my response is, "I wrote a game called Avernum 2. I checked my records and it turns out I did. I remember absolutely nothing about it." Even though I haven't even shipped this game yet, I have forgotten most of what is in in this game because there's just too much for my brain to hold. So even though I have written this. I wrote this game. I tested it. I rewrote this game. I played through this all again. I actually have absolutely no idea what's at the bottom of this trapdoor. So I'm going to use it. Okay, well, this looks fun. I'm going to save because I'm probably about to get eaten by rats or something. Okay, so this time the supplies downstairs, I'm okay with them having a steel tag. Because this is kind of theft. God, I wish my characters didn't still have daggers. I'm gonna, before I get a real mission, I'm gonna actually go back to that store. But first, I'm going to make sure that at the very least my characters have the dignity of wearing pants. I'm not gonna steal the leather armor though, because we all already have leather armor. So let's see. This on the table is just, I'm gonna hit the G to get. This is all just environmental items. I'm very influenced by Ultima 6 and Ultima 7 still, and all of my games are full of just millions of items. They're just there for environmental storytelling that just add to the vibe. So I'm going to go this way. I find, oh, there's a sign. Let me see. I walk next to special storage, authorized entry only. I try the door, chance of success 3. It's a difficult lock, so I'm going to leave it be. This is probably not where I should be going, but oh, this looks weird. Huh. There's a lizard statue and a little platform and rocks and rubble, but nothing's happening. How weird. In fact, and I have a good memory, so I remember this room was not in the original Avernum 4. I wonder if I will eventually do something here. Heh, fun. It's fun to ask questions. Anywho, let's try a different direction. Okay, here's a table over here. Oh, there's some mushrooms. I'll just get some food. In the sacks, there's bolts of cloth that I could sell, and, I'm still on my own, so I'm just going to steal that. I'm going to leave people's food behind, though. Oh, there's a ladder over here. I wonder where this goes. It go. Oh, look, I'm back to the surface, except now I'm in the kitchen. So one of the fun things about this, I'm going to run to the gate just to make it clear. So this game takes place in one. Oh God, I triggered. As you approach the gate of Fort Monastery, you hear some painfully familiar screeches. You know what happens next. Bored goblin raiders are about to run into the fort, grab whatever they can, and run away. A nearby guard sighs and reaches for a weapon. Okay, I'm about to be involved in a thing. Oh, okay, so there was a goblin right in front of me, and the guard already killed it. Let me take a step and see what I'm hitting space to pause. Oh, there is a goblin here. There's 2 goblins here. Wow, guards are strong. Okay, I'm going to step out to make some room. Okay, this is the text about leaving Fort Monastery and entering Avernum for the first time. People who play that can have a great time enjoying that text eventually. Okay, you have a bow, so I'm going to switch to bow. Attack the goblin. The mage is going to go over here and do that. Problem solved. Now, there was treasure, so I get, and this is just, this is going to be sold in the store for extra cash. Shift. Oh, it's interesting. There's no hotkey. So there's a junk bag. And you can use this to just store junk that you don't have a use for. It says control click an item to move it here. So I can control click the crystal. It's now in my junk bag, and I can sell it automatically when I'm in a store. I'm going to do that to the bolt of cloth too. I forgot to put a tag on the bolt of cloth saying you can just sell this. Marianne, could you make a note for the bolt of cloth to just add a you can sell this tag? What was I doing? Oh yeah, I wanted to make an illustration. So you can see you step outside the gates and you're immediately out in the cold and dark. And now this is one enormous seamless world. I'm going to bring up the world map. So we're here. Here is Fort Monastery. Question marks indicate where I got quests, and you can see this is a very large world. And one of the things I love about this game is that it's in a giant cave system. So all the time you should be feeling close to getting disoriented. You should be feeling close to being lost. It should be big and spooky. And that is what Avernum is like. So you'll know I went downstairs, I wandered around, I went up a ladder, and already I'm in a completely different place. Well, these tunnels downstairs go on for a very long way and are constantly dotted with ladders to other parts of the cave. So, this game will let you wander and explore and get lost. But now we're back in the caves, so I'm gonna keep exploring. The sign says holding cell. That's ominous. So I can pick this lock. I'm gonna try to pick the lock. Actually, I did it. Oh god, there's goblins there. So I'm gonna save immediately. I'm not in a fight, so I can save. I want to let out a little. Okay, what do we got? Oh, this is the other side of the tunnel they buried into. That's clever. Goblin, goblin, goblin. Okay, so I'm gonna run in. I got the jump on him. Here. And try and fail to stab him. It's okay. We have bows. And my mage is just gonna keep shooting. This is dark. I need to light a light. First, I'll keep working on this job. See, there is a keyboard shortcut for this. I'm going to start using the keyboard shortcut. Oh, actually, I should start getting the habit of healing. What's the keyboard shortcut? F5. Okay, there's a little critical hit. Fortunately, we're still in the early game, so stuff isn't too difficult. My priest is going to put minor healing here, which is now F5, and I'm going to heal my character. Oh, I just accidentally ran up and meleeed with my mage. Good tactical planning, Jeff. Okay. Gonna get treasure. More crystals. Junk bag. Oh, this is a lovely crystal. This is worth more money. And there's still more mining supplies because this is where they dug in. So I found the other end of that, but this does not quite explain how the goblins got here. I mean, well, it's kind of a plot hole, and I never really explained how they got through this gate here. Maybe they slipped through the bars. Anyway, actually, before I save, I'm going to light a light. There, isn't that better? Isn't that more visible? If you're playing this game, don't worry about using lights. By the time you are all said and done, you will have hundreds of lamps. So don't worry about that. And for that matter, don't worry about using consumables. Everyone always saves all their consumables to the end. I put in plenty of consumables. You're still not going to use them unless you're playing on veteran difficulty. I actually, my beta testers are awesome and amazing. They're really incredibly helpful, but they're also, they have to give balanced feedback. And I was getting balanced feedback where this fight in veteran difficulty is killing me, and then they'd send me a save game so I could see what's going on, and their backpack would have 100 consumables in it, and I'd say, dude, use your wands, and then I would immediately get a message back saying, okay, I won the fight. Never mind. Oh, it's another ladder up. Oh, it's nice and brightly lit because I lit a lamp. Okay, this is a chance of success, 90%. Click. That means that a lockpick doesn't break. Why? Oh, passing through the fort monastery. So this is an issue I'm actually going to fix. So you see, by going through this door, I re-entered the fort, and that heals me. But currently, when you re-enter a fort, that takes away your light source. That will be fixed. I already have a note to fix that for V101 because that's just annoying, I think. I don't have any lamps. This person does have. Someone had a lamp. Who had a lamp? You had a lamp. Okay, I've lit the way. So now we're in kind of a wet, swampy cave. There's lots of very moist caves. Okay, here's a nice long passage. Oh, something has happened. This low cave is full of stagnant water choked with slime and moss. It's too dank and smelly for explorers to be stored here, but goblins are not so fussy. There are bent and worn tools on the floorhead. This must be a waypoint for the goblin sappers who are trying to dig their way into the fort. Captain Matos would definitely like to hear about this. Suddenly you experience several all too familiar sensations. The sound of a collapsing ceiling, a cloud of blinding dust, and then several goblins, picks in hand, subble out of the passage ahead. And there we are. Oh, it's a goblin sapper. That one I remember to give a special new name to. So now I'm going to start using strategery. I don't know how many goblins are coming, so I'm going to let them come to me. This character doesn't have a bow yet, so this character is just going to wait. This character doesn't have a bow yet. Maybe I should have bought some at the shop. This character is just going to wait. This character does have a bow. Let me see what spells are available. Smite, curing. Oh, I don't have any of the blessing spells yet. I need to find a place to find the blessing spells because those are really good. Fortunately, I still haven't explored a lot of the cave. But for now, I'm going to fail to damage it. And this character is going to cover it with fire. Okay. Oh, there's only 2 goblins. I can handle 2 goblins. Keep hacking away. I don't want to heal yet. And fire. There's another goblin. Okay, was that it? I'm just going to pause. Oh, no, there's more. Okay. Well, I'm just going to move up this time. Goblin Warrior. This is a tougher goblin. But fortunately, even a tougher goblin is still only a goblin. So I'm going to switch and throw a javelin just for variety. And miss. Okay, I need to heal. So I keep working on the warrior. I'm going to heal. I'm going to click up here to make sure I don't mess up the selection. And I'm going to keep throwing fire and see if I can eliminate that warrior. I have not done it yet. Still working on it. Fortunately, these don't do a lot of damage because it's still the beginning of the game. I always get complaints that the beginning of my games are too easy, and when I do, I'm like, just don't worry, just wait. The road gets rockier ahead. Keep firing. Is this another? Oh, this is a flinger. This has missiles, so, but fortunately, it is more than capable of just, running up to attack. Oh, no, it didn't. It ran away and threw a javelin at me. Oh, that was well programmed. Good job, Jeff. Okay. Oh, just a minute. There is a question in the chat. Will there ever be a day where you revert to the old broken combat system where we launch fireballs through doors to cheese the enemy? So just I've between games and remasters, I have released in my career like 31 games. It's crazy. It's how many games I've written, and I'm sure that at some point I wrote a game where that is possible because I'm only one person for the most part, and it's difficult. I have absolutely no idea what game had that problem, but I hope it doesn't have it anymore. I wish I didn't miss. Well, that's what you get. Oh, that's what you get when you have your spellcasters doing those sorts of things. Okay, is that it? Oops, I'm gonna end combat. And now, as usual, I always save the game after a fight. I'm gonna see if they dropped anything worth having. Shovel, curing potion may be useful. Pick, chisel, trash, money, always useful. A bottle of ale. Oh, that's interesting. I set it up so that oh yeah, so you can drink. It just isn't good for your skill. But now because I finished a tough fight, I just had a drink. And so but now I have War Curse and Slow. but at least I've role-played successfully. So here's all of the goblins' digging materials. You can see this is as far as they got. Maybe I should have put a crumbling cave here just so it was clear that there was a tunnel. But, you know, better late than never. So I'm going to poke around a little bit more. Okay, just a dead end, some old wall. Now entering goblin lands. Well, that's ominous. Okay, there's bats. Oh, my character is still a little drunk, but that's okay. And I think I forgot to heal too, but I can fix that soon. Make sure there's room for my mage to come up, and then I'm going to heal my frontline fighter while the bats swoop at me. I'll keep throwing fire at them. This character is going to step up and try to eliminate this one. Yikes! These things are hard. Actually, you can right-click on an enemy. Okay, these are level 3. I'm level 1. This may have been a mistake. Actually, I know what mistake I made, which is I didn't really pay attention to what my spells were. Oh, my character is still drunk, so he's having a hard time attacking anything. Okay, so I'm going to keep healing. Let me see what other spells I have. Oh, this is what I should have actually like looked and actually started using my spells. What I'm going to cast is Call Beast. So now I have summoned a friend to absorb some of this punishment for me. Also, maybe someday I should get a weapon besides daggers. Thank you, slime. I'm gonna keep healing. We're still near the beginning, so I still have plenty of spell points left. Thank you, slime. Heal. Almost there. Did my slime poison it? No. I guess that's slime. This is only a low-level slime, so I suppose I should be happy that it isn't able to poison. Because, you know, game balance and all that. Okay, the battle is won. I'm going to hit get to see what's here. Food. Healing herbs can be taken to alchemists and towns and converted into potions. Useless for now, but it's nice, and now I'm going to run away. I've done the job, and the fights there were starting to get a tiny bit spicy. I found a goblin, the tunnel that goblins could use to sneak in. He slaps his forehead. Of course, those old flooded tunnels. They were sealed off, but the goblins must have burrowed in. Curse me for not thinking of it sooner. But you say they caused a cave-in? Another one? He thinks. Alas, we can't use that passage to ambush them. The carelessness of the goblins protects them. Still, that is useful information. We've learned more about them. Now I can send you out to do those creatures some real damage. What do you want me to do? And, you know, there's lots of questions about things, but this guy talks a lot, but I'm just doing the fighting stuff. It is time to hunt the goblins. They're weak creatures, but tenacious. Based on what we've learned, I think you have what it takes to barge in there and hurt them. Their leader is named Tricksta. He's a warrior with a quarter of a brain, which makes him dangerous for a goblin. He's somewhere in the warren to the south. Fight your way in there and finish him off. Do a little task for me, and I can help you to get to where you want to be. Where is their warren? Leave Fort Monastery to the south. Its entrance will be in the gallery wall to the west, a narrow crack in the wall. Their lair is a played-out crystal mine, a perfect ruin to attract pests. It will be guarded, I expect. Tricksta, how do you know his name? Captain Matos laughs. He came to us a few months ago, stood out a bow shot and shouted demands. We chased him off. That was when he started the raids. Why didn't you wipe his goblins out before? It was easier to just let them come to us. The mindless creatures would rush up and the guards would puncture them. Then a month ago, the raids stopped. Something is happening. Tricksta has plans. Count on it. Now we have a quest. And I just got a bunch of experience. Let me see. Is there? I think I got told there's another. Uh, the Okay, it doesn't look like any other actual questions, but thank you very much for the kind words. Yes, so people are saying that this game is improved since the first Avernum 4 from 2005. And the truth is, yes, this game system is improved a lot. Oh yeah, I forgot going through that entrance doesn't heal you. So I'm gonna walk through the gates and that heals me up. I want to see if I can buy some new spells. So there's a little shrine here, and there's a priest spell seller. I have 130 coins, and what I want buffs. Is what I want. I want my priest to be able to buff. So there's protection and war blessing, and I'm gonna start. I want both ideally, but for now, oh god, thank good. My priest spell skill isn't. Thank good. It reminded me to get that. Okay, my priest can now bless the party. I want my priest to be able to shield the party too, so I'm going to go back to that shop we found. There's about 1 hour left in the stream, and I'd like to finish the first quest if possible. So I'd like to sell something. So I'm going to hit sell all junk. Now I'm up to 50 coins. Not quite enough yet for another spell. But it's a good start. And I have not yet gotten a second level. I'm about halfway. So I'm going to go here. Yes. Okay, so that was the first half of the stream where I've gotten an introduction, and now I've gotten my first major quest. And I'm going to take a very quick pause. I do actually since because of the way Steam does chat soon far fewer people come into the chats. So I think I am going to want to actually put this one on YouTube as a preview. So I have to just start and stop recording and restart just so that it's not too. I'm hitting stop